Bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And now with the play clock winding down, Jason Garrett opts to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37. The numbers for Zeke from last week. Very productive. 3 touchdowns, 2 of them on the ground, 1 through the air.
And it will always be a compliment to say that a guy's got a nose for the end zone, and he sure had it last week.
Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Prescott now on second down. Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 23 yards on the play. Now on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they... did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
Now Elliott. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
On the counter, Elliott, and an alley to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set. Out of downs. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Here's Elliott. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15. On the defensive side, these are the starters for New Orleans. And they're squarely in the middle of the pack against the run this year, number 16 in the NFL.
I still crack up a little bit after we left Our meeting with the defensive coordinator, because I said to you, stop me if you've heard this before. How about him saying, well, first order of business, we got to stop the run. Of course you do. He's got a good unit, but facing the #1 rushing team, they have to stop that in order to have a good performance.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. His throw caught at about the 5. And he's brought down. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dak Prescott, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Bailey got the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their veteran quarterback, the former Purdue Boilermaker. It's Drew Brees.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting on a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
Brees now on first down. Thomas has got it, complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now a play fake here on first down. And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
They go play action here on first down. And he'll go right back to Thomas, complete again. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Ready.
Now Brees throwing on second down. And his throw here is incomplete. The tight end Josh Hill was the target, and it's third down.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Shotgun now for Brees. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Jamarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 7-0 is our score. We're back to Arlington in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And Lutz's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
2nd down, Prescott. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. A good pickup there, a 22.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Room to run inside the 40. And he'll cut, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Here's Bailey now for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
But if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
He's going to float this one deep right side. Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their...
It's Tavon Austin. And now here come the Cowboys. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
And he's got it to Hearns. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Prescott going to come up 1st and 10, and he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Prescott. And this one brought in by Gathers. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
He hits Beasley right side. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's another 10 yards on that one, and another 1st down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. Prescott on 1st down. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Prescott going to come up 1st and 10, and he's hit on all 6 of his throws on this drive. This is Elliott. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Prescott to throw it. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Jhumble247's in the final seconds of the first half. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Ready. You ready?
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD in a minute. First, it's time to take a look at what we've got coming your way this weekend in the NFL. One of the best of the early games, we'll highlight it there. The Giants in for a stern test at home at MetLife Stadium as they get set to play host to the Chicago Bears. More good stuff later in the afternoon, one being in Tennessee, where it'll be the Titans at home in Nashville, taking on the New York Jets. And finally, Monday Night Football heads to Seattle, with the Vikings trying to break a 4-game losing streak to the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 8. And he's able to get it up close to the 35, but hang on here. Penalty marker down, and this one might be going the other way.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that will push him back.
First down.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we?
Ready?
On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. They'll set up the screen down to Kamara. No gain, and it's 2nd down.
We got 3. 3 down. 3 down. Hey, Tom, you got 3. Let's go.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Ready? You ready? Time.
On 2nd down, here's Breeze. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Here's Breeze. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss.
Hey, 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 hey. Here we go. One, hey. Woo. Here we go. Get tight. Let's go. Get out. Get out.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a 1st down on that last catch as well.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Now Prescott out to his left, and he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first, and it's 3rd down now.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. Looking to throw, Prescott. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 23. From the gun, it's Breeze. That's caught. It's Coleman. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Ready. Waiting.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Breeze now on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still 2nd down.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Nice.
On the check down, he finds Kamara. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One-handed. Love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a 1st down.
And he'll be the one in the film session. He'll be saying, hey, run that one back, coach.
Yeah.
Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that
2
again.
more time.
And they won't.
8 more times.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it.
Here we go with Kamara. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Alvin Kamara unable to push past that yellow line. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
Demario Davis there on the stop. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
A handoff left, Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Mike 56, Mike!
Prescott off play action. And his throw is incomplete. Coverage there by Von Bell. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
On third down, it's Prescott. And hauled in by Gathers. Touchdown, Cowboys. In for the score. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. They have the lead in the fourth, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
Bailey now for the extra point. Bailey got the extra point, and the lead is now 24. 5 plays there on that drive, and it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain. So now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Breeze now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Now Breeze. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Throwing on 1st down is Breeze. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain of 32 that time. Into the red zone, it's Breeze. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Breeze. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. Hey, smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
Breeze now. And that will be incomplete as well.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And Lutz puts this one through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing. They're just dressing up the final score.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. How good has he been throwing the football, though? And despite that incompletion, that's just the 3rd time he's been off target this entire game.
And Brandon, I've been on the other side of this equation, trying to defend a guy who's been this hot. And it chips away at your confidence. And when you're not confident when you're trying to defend, it makes you slower to the football, and it leads to more completions for them.
A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, giving them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why they're points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
A good pickup there, a 22.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Dallas, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead, they fall to 5-7. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Look at the cash coming in. Come get your man, Slim Booker bugging me. Just see the bag, quit all that jaw jackery. Don't even be that, I don't want none of it. It's bad about it, had enough of it. Whoa, watch what you saying, how that poppin' and shaking. Got is a laser, my posse deep and I raiding. We act a fool for the paper. Had a dream and I made it. El Camino on Dayton's, bitches guess over baby. Put the bread on me. Bet on my bacon, big and flat in the bacon. I might just roll out today. I might just roll out to Vegas, head back to my old ways. Cop a roof for all day. Look at me, baby. Look at me, baby. Don't I look like a million? I'm about to clean out the safe. Don't I look like somebody that just be bodying everything? All that talking is great, but I don't be talking. I air it out. All the problems have gotten easy to bury. I'd rather kiss on my. I've been broke way longer than I've been rich, so until it levels out, I'ma take mama to the Marriott and took me so long to get it, gonna spread it out. Let them know all about me when I'm dead and gone. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. I'ma need all the fries you can give me, all the hot sauce, all the pie you can give me. Better be all or nothing, don't have me in the middle.
Can Zeke deke again? Well, it's the coach. This is the 2018 season, and you've got it tuned to EA Sports. Coming up, Ezekiel Elliott, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Dallas Cowboys. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with the Philadelphia Eagles. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they've been in a great groove, winners of 7 of their last 10 on the year. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. Leading them out, the MVP of Super Bowl 52, Nick Foles.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well. Won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Foles. And his first look is incomplete. And the tight end, Zach Ertz, is key in this offense as we get a look at the starters.
Comes out of the factory known as Stanford, which keeps putting out tight ends. Zach Ertz, one of the better ones we've seen in recent years.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Here we go, here we go.
Here's Foles. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. The numbers for him from a week ago: 5 catches, 57 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play.
Well, it's just been an aerial attack all the way downfield, and they're putting it to the defense in a big way right now. What do you think, partner? Do you now run the football? Because they're in a pretty good spot already at the outer edges of the field goal.
But, like you always tell me, you're still far enough away from the end zone that a pass could be a good option here, too.
You know, we always talk about running the ball until people take it away from you. I don't see any reason to stop throwing it until they take it away from you as well.
Well, the early returns here on the opening drive, though, solid. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Jay Ajayi. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Now Foles. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Mike Wallace, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Elliott now to kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the former Mississippi State product, the mobile quarterback, Dak Prescott.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. He was looking to get it to Allen Hurns that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 4 catches, 68 yards.
And he was able to haul that pass in there, but he knows he's got a tough task ahead of him. This unit in the top 5 in the NFL against the pass. He's going to have to really work hard to get open.
Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down. And the defense now for the Eagles.
One of the heroes of the Eagles Super Bowl winning team is Brandon Graham. 9.5 sacks in 2017, a career high. And how about the biggest play of the season when he stripped the football from Tom Brady late to seal their Super Bowl win? And he did it from the defensive tackle position. Normally a defensive end, kicked inside and made the biggest play of his life.
On 2nd down, Prescott again. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. And just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Ezekiel Elliott with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game.
We got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
Means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people to power his way forward.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
Now it's a giant. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs. A touchdown apiece here in this first quarter of play. 7-all is the score. We're back to Arlington in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
And they've got it here with a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They go play action here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Right back to him on first down. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They run with Ajayi. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And that is caught. It's Aguilar for the Eagle touchdown. Nelson Aguilar, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. Elliott on for the extra point. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 14-7. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Elliott now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
And fights through one man. Fights off another.
I think the second tackler would have learned from the first.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game, and a first down on that last catch as well. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. Prescott looks to throw on first. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Looking and finding Allen Hurns. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 23 yards on the play.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A gain of 6 there on first.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now brings up a second and manageable.
Just found him. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Jeff Swaim, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. Got a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half. There's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, where they want to let their return guy touch it.
Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. Bailey got the extra point, and we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. Fairly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Hurts over the middle. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A very solid gain of 27.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll make it 2nd down. They'll set up a throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Elliott puts this one through. And they take a 17-14 lead. So they get the field goal here at the end of the second quarter and take the lead into the lockers.
And isn't that what every team wants to do? Right at the end of the half, put points on the board, and go into the locker room feeling a lot better about themselves.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Elliott. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And they work this well upfield across the 45. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Eli Manning, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. From there, we head over to the West Coast. Check out the Niners at home at Levi Stadium. And they've got the lead over the visiting Denver Broncos. Pierre Garçon, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get over to Carson. See what's happening with the Chargers at home at the StubHub Center. And that one all tied as they host the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. In the game you're watching, it's the former Super Bowl MVP, Nick Foles, with a strong first half. His guys lead, though by only a field goal. Still anybody's game. As we send it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up. And we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. His throw incomplete. Another incompletion with that one. He's just 7 of 14 throwing the football, 50%. Typically not going to get it done, is it?
And let's just make it simple, and that's exactly why they trail.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Prescott. Oh, a scrap for the football. He's going to come down with it.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And the tackle there by Chris Long.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Awesome.
Prescott now on 2nd down. He finds Hearns left side. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. Nothing flashy there. The slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys, because it's a quick play. And you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch. And then he's able to absorb the contact to complete it.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front, nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
2nd down, Prescott. He hits Beasley right side. And now running right through it. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody has that ability, they want them on their team.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, ball's out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Prescott. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's 3rd down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
Prescott now under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
The Cowboys will turn it over now to Dan Bailey for the field goal try. And that will tie things at 17-all. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, Parker, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to a Giant to begin the drive. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL. Back now in Arlington. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. They're going to look to throw. Aguilar has him. The 20, 10, touchdown, Philadelphia. Nelson Aguilar with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th.